Hello again. Permit me to distract you for a moment from Berlin Major hype. 1, 2, 3, that's it! Because today I want to check in with Challenger League and all of the surrounding fun and games. I've done all the trawling through Liquipedia and checking all Twitter pages so that you don't have to. Script is ready, let's go. So far, we have 5 of the 16 teams qualified for Challenger League. That includes Hellraisers and X-Heroic, as well as Makers, Rebels, and 321 Sked. And Viperio 86 for all intents and purposes. I'm treating them as qualified. By the time the Berlin Major hits, we'll have 8, which is halfway to a full league. Congrats to Makers and Rebels, who won the Italian PGNat and Spanish leagues, respectively. Rebels did so without dropping a single map, over 14 best of 1s and 2 best of 3s. For both, it's the second year running that they've made it to Challenger League. You could say that it shows a lack of depth in the regions, or you could say that it proves the teams are consistently good. Take your pick. 321 Sked really hit their stride in the second split of French League, qualifying for Challenger League by finishing as runners-up to the Wolves, who are of course repping EU soon in Berlin alongside the M&M, the Rogue, and the G2. It remains a unique quirk of French League that they determine Challenger League spots based on the league stage rather than the finals, which, with a double round robin and one tier 1 team present that could potentially gatekeep in a finals bracket, I'm not too fussed about. I personally think it would be better if all of the Nats leagues followed the same system, which looks to be the general trend, so maybe by next year that will happen. Out of the 106 teams that competed in the first Challenger League Open qualifier, it was Viperio 86 who would be forgiven for popping the champagne after their first place finish. Their Challenger League spot is all but booked, barring a miraculous scenario in which other specific teams all get specific points totals across the remaining qualifiers. The top 8 were a who's who of teams expected to top their respective national leagues, so if say Wild, Viperio 86, 10 Star and J-Lings all follow 321 Sked's example and do just that, then the overall relevant points distribution is lowered, meaning that the threshold for qualifying might actually be a bit lower than last year where it hovered around 75 points. The biggest losers from the event were undoubtedly the ex-Empire roster E+4, finding themselves unfortunately in a top-heavy bracket and only able to muster a top 16 finish, accruing 15 CL points. At least one top 8 finish is realistically needed over the 3 events, so they definitely need to improve on that score. As mentioned in my previous video, without the luxury of a national league to compete in, this is the 6 invitational finalists' only way into Challenger League. I can't quite believe I'm saying that. Other notable underperformers were MPL's Victus, who, to be fair, played with a coach as a sub, so they did alright, and the GSA finalists Ovation and Team Alpha, which I totally predicted, while EDS also made an impressively deep run, which I also predicted, yay me. This open qualifier was the first chance since UKIN Rainbow Rumble back in January to see mixed nation tier 3 officials and gauge our mostly theoretical power rankings, so forgive the deep dive there, I just want to see more tournaments like this. So that's what's already happened, but what's coming up? Well, we have 5 more Challenger League teams to source from national leagues, and another 5 from open qualifiers. First up is Benelux Finals, which are this weekend, all happening on LAN this Saturday, the 6th of August, and it looks like a really cool event. I really wish I could go. As far as teams are concerned, Joker look likely to finish bottom out of the 4, but between the other 3, it's very tight in terms of form, so any one of them could take it. J-Lings had the best run in open quals with a top 8 finish. That included taking a map off Wild while playing with their coach Prophet King as a sub, which would appear to be Wild's kryptonite. So if I had to back any team, it would be J-Lings. V4 finals are the weekend after, which... God damn it, this again. Okay, so V4 appear to be on course for the Nats League any % world record, speedrunning their entire double round robin in the span of 2 months, plus a surprisingly quick turnaround from the league stage, which isn't finished yet, to the finals literally a week later on August the 13th and the 14th. It's absolutely wild. I don't know what they're smoking over there, to be honest. Looking at Challenger League contenders, there are no massive surprises over in V4. Necrorazors picked up the Kayit roster, expected to impress at the very start of the season, and they're currently locked in top spot with 1 game left, unbeaten in 7, and are also the most proven roster in best of 3s. I would be very surprised to see them lose. But once that's over... 1, 2, 3, that's it! And then once that's over, we've got a really busy September with GSA, Open Qualifiers, and the Northern Premier League to wrap up, which makes up the remaining 8 Challenger League spots. In GSA, Team Alpha actually finished above Wild, with some questions over the motivation from the favourites towards the end of the season, after they'd gained 75 CL points as Open Qualifier runners-up, the Gamers 8 finals in Riyadh happening very shortly, and also having already secured their final spot before losing their final 2 matches. White Tigers and Ovation are the teams filling out the bracket, and with a month to wait, recent form is not going to be a factor available to us when making predictions, so on paper I'll probably have to back Wild, but I'm not going to be held to that. We can assume the next set of Open Qualifiers will take place on either the second weekend of September or the third weekend of September, or both. The announcement back in June was suitably vague in that regard. My guess is one in September and one in October, but I wouldn't put anything past UB when it comes to planning for Challenger League, and of course that would mean that there's a much quicker turnaround from the final Open Qualifier to the start of Challenger League, should we be following a similar calendar to last year. So a double weekend isn't out of the question. With progressively fewer great teams like 321 Sked, Viperia 86 and Makers present to gatekeep, and less frequent domestic competition in the lead up to these dates, the last 2 qualifiers look set to be far more unpredictable than the first. MPL just finished up with a fiercely competitive league stage, and Riddle were also there. No big surprises in the playoffs mean that we now await finals on the 25th of September, though with 2 CL spots available and Heroic competing, those Challenger League spots could actually be decided on day 1 if Heroic finished first or second. Going a bit deeper with all of the possible scenarios on the listed format, the Grand Final is the only game that cannot determine a Challenger League spot. I would be very surprised come the MPL Finals to see each of these rosters looking exactly the same as they do now, with EUL Stage 3 starting before then, and some very hot individual prospects within these 3 up-and-coming sides. If roster shuffles are a factor, then any of these 4 could win, which you can't say about many Nats finals, so again, no predictions from me just yet. That just about rounds it up, so no update on the whole promotion situation yet, or the Challenger League format itself. UB, please say something. If you're feeling brave enough to make some predictions, then drop some in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe and do nasty things to that bell icon. Follow me on Twitter at JerryCast if you want to, if my brain amuses you and you want to see me nerd out about things like round difference on a near daily basis. Toodle pip.